Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo, and Hollywood is in a very weird and precarious place. We've seen time and time again over the span of the last couple of years that adaptations sometimes do well, sometimes fail. And when it comes to Disney and their live action adaptations, they tend to do better than others because they stick very close to the source material. Beauty and the Beast added a couple elements, still went on to gross $1 billion. The Jungle Book did very well. The Lion King is looking like it's going to pull in 1.5 or more billion when it comes out in just a couple weeks. So today, it was very interesting that Disney announced its pick for who would be playing Ariel in the Little Mermaid remake, and it's not who I expected at all. According to the article here on Hollywood Reporter, Disney finds Little Mermaid star and singer Halle Bailey. As we can see here, she is a younger African American actress, and they're excited for this. They're very excited for this because they said that she maintains or embodies everything that Ariel is. Having a lot of strong-headedness and compassion, a great singing voice, and they very much want to be able to sell a soundtrack. They want to sell merchandise. They want to sell all of these things. And Disney is usually pretty good at marketing everything. I mean, if you look at, even Will Smith as the genie and how that whole thing kind of played out, it still has gone to gross nearly 900 million worldwide. So while it's not Robin Williams, it's a blue genie. It's a little bit easier to kind of see the actor in that role, even though everybody still wanted Robin Williams and they would have preferred probably to not have it happen, even though he's been dead nearly 5 years. So anyway, on the subject of Ginger Erasure, which is a very interesting topic, because a lot of people out there probably would argue that it doesn't really exist. I have talked with gingers that have brought this up specifically. In fact, there's an article here that says, "Are we facing a redhead extinction?" Saying only about 4 to 5% of the world's population carries the gene for red hair. Now, they argue that ultimately, no, it's not going to be a thing by 2060. But then again, blondes are also kind of experiencing the same kind of slowdown where the genes just aren't, they're just not there. And I'm not too sure the argument to have on that particular front, to be fair. But when it comes to adaptations, when it comes to Hollywood, when it comes to all of these retellings of stories with ginger characters, we are seeing a very interesting transition. And it's kind of fascinating if you think about it. Now, this is again Halle Bailey. I want to make sure I say that right, with Ariel, the original depiction of Ariel. So it again, young black actress with a ginger Caucasian character coming over here. This is what she posted on her Twitter page to celebrate. So obviously showcasing, and this is guaranteed something that came from Disney, that a Disney artist put together. You can totally tell that that this was something that was planned and was ready to go. They have no intention of giving her red hair for this particular adaptation, and that is probably what is going to cause a bit of problems with some people because not the first time this has happened. And it definitely won't be the last. Don't believe me? Go back to 2010 when you had the remake of Annie coming out from Sony. We can see here young, ginger, freckle-faced Annie from 1982 and the 2010 remake. And the remake went on to go and do pretty terribly. Now, Sony could argue that the remake, not 2010, 2014, my mistake. The remake from 2014 got leaked out due to the Sony hack, so that could be argued as one of the reasons why it failed. But this isn't just an isolated case either. Coming over here to the Flash television series, original Iris West, redhead reporter. And then you had Candice Patton take over the role for the Arrowverse. Now, I'm not going to lie, I very much love Candice Patton in the role. I think she's been great as Iris West. And I think a lot of people now identify her as being the predominant Iris West, but that doesn't take away from the Ginger Erasure in this particular situation. Again, coming over to comic books, that's a big thing in comics here. We've got Spider-Man and MJ. We have on the left MJ from the comics, not always as busty or voluptuous, but definitely there. And then you've got Zendaya playing Michelle or MJ in the Spider-Man movies. Now, I like the character of Michelle or MJ in these films. I think it's great, but she's not Mary Jane Watson. She's not the Mary Jane Watson that fans want, but we're not getting that in this iteration. So this is what we get. And again, we can see that they are taking a red-haired comic book character or just a redhead character in pop culture, and they are making them not redhead anymore. And that's something that's been picked up quite a bit, especially coming over here. Again, comics is a big thing. DC has got it right here once again. Starfire. Now, Starfire is an alien. That's up for debate in regards to how she presents herself. But Starfire and Anna Diop are definitely not the same. And a lot of people out there were not very happy with the look of Starfire on DC Universe's Titan show. Apparently, she's really good in the role, but again, there was a lot of controversy surrounding how the particular depiction of the character took place. And this one here, this is happening over on Netflix, where you've got Triss Merigold, who is going to be not played by a traditional redhead. And Triss is notoriously redhead throughout the entire game series and in the books. This is not something that is uncommon. So when you look at the idea of Ginger Erasure in Hollywood, it's there. I don't think there's any arguing it. There's any denying it. Now, that's not to say that this is being done implicitly to take away from a certain group of people or to prop up another certain group of people. I think these are just creative choices that producers make as a way to be more inclusive just where we are in our current society. And I think if the talent backs it up, like in the case of Candice Patton with The Flash, I think ultimately I'm fine with it. I am for the most part, provided that it doesn't feel like it's being pandering. And I think if you don't pander it, a lot of people will tend to get on board. But there is clear evidence that this is a reality, that this is a thing that's happening. So I'll be very interested to see how the general public responds to Halle Bailey, not Halle Berry, being cast in the role of Ariel. I definitely am going to withhold judgment until I see the film, because you know what? They clearly chose it for a reason. They chose her for a reason. So they clearly have seen that she embodies all of what Ariel is to them. And so we'll have to see how that plays out. But in the meantime, I think this is going to open up a lot of conversation about representation of gingers in Hollywood. I think this is probably the right time to have that kind of conversation about ginger representation in Hollywood and how there is what absolutely appears to be some kind of erasure happening inside of Hollywood in regards to gingers. And yeah, I want to know, I really want to know what you guys think about this one. Let me know down in the comments below. Please keep it civil. This is an issue about characters and representation and whatnot. So I am curious to hear your thoughts and your opinions on this one. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day and peace out.